Hello everyone and welcome to WGBS TV Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the number one Superman fan site in the world. In this, our June 14th, 2021 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including Superman Day. We've celebrated Superman Day this week. We're also going to be talking to you about things happening with the latest Superman and Lois episode. We're going to be talking about comic books and so much more. We're also going to turn to you to ask you for your questions and comments on any particular Superman topic you would like to discuss. And he was here with me, but has just, thanks to Skype, been disconnected. So we'll introduce you to my co-host shortly, Mr. Michael Bailey. But while I'm trying to get him on, if you're watching this live, you're either doing it via our YouTube channel or directly on our website. And seeing as how we're beaming this live across the internet and therefore around the world, we'd love to hear from you, Superman fans, right across the world. So to actually talk to us tonight, you'll need to use Skype. Now, what you need to do is open up Skype, search for SupermanHomepage.com or Superman Homepage, and send us a message saying you'd like to chat with us live tonight. We'll try to get you on in the second half of the show. Now, for those of you tuning in live via YouTube to watch tonight's show, we invite you to join in and chat with fellow fans, post your comments and ask questions, and Michael and I will keep an eye on those comments throughout the show, so get involved. And if you want your comment featured live on the screen as the show goes to air, well, that's called a super chat. All you have to do is click the little dollar symbol there beneath you. A slider will appear on your screen. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate, and we will feature your comment or question live on the screen as we continue. Now, still trying to get Michael on the line. He was with me, as you saw, and then somehow he fell out. But we will push on and hopefully get him on as quickly as we can. And a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And if you'd like your name or your business featured as a sponsor of this show, simply click the join button below. And there are different levels of perks for different levels of your donations. Now, trying to get Michael on, it's not connecting at the moment, so I'll continue to... Here we go, it's starting to ring now, so... Michael, you with me?
I should be.
There you are, yes. I don't know what happened there, you just got disconnected.
I don't know what happened either. I was frozen on the screen. I was watching. I thought maybe my internet fell out, but I saw everyone updating. So okay, very good.
We're good. But I've done the intro. I've told everyone how they can join us tonight, what they need to do. So we've done all that part. So you're relieved of those duties. But how's your week been this week so far?
It's been okay. I'm on vacation this week. So,
nice. No wonder you look so relaxed.
That is part of the reason, yes. That copious amount of drugs that I take on a daily basis. But no, it's we've got a lot to talk about, unfortunately.
We do.
In some cases.
Yeah, some cases, that's right. There's been some sad news, but let's start with the good news, and that was this week we celebrated Superman Day. That was celebrated on June 12th. A lot of people were surprised. It's been around for a few years now. I think it's since, 2013, I think it was, that DC announced that Superman Day was on June 12th. How did you celebrate Superman Day?
I do Superman stuff all the time. So it's like one of those things where...
Just another day.
I was at work for most of the day, and I edited the newest episode of the Superman and Lois tapes, so I guess I celebrated it by producing content.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Yeah, well, that was the graphic that's on your screen now that we posted as one of the variant covers that we had recently for a comic book that we posted up for Superman Day, and it got shared pretty widely. So, everyone celebrated Superman Day, and I posted up an article on our website stating all the fun, fantastic things we have to look forward to as Superman fans. New episodes of Superman and Lois, upcoming Supergirl episodes, Titans, Young Justice, the new adventures of, or was it My Adventures with Superman, DC's League of Super Pets movies, so many things that we have to look forward to as Superman fans. So it was a good Superman Day, and I hope you all celebrated it by wearing your Superman gear out in public and let people know that Superman is still the top superhero in the world.
Yeah, and I hope it wasn't like most times where people just remind you that Batman exists. We're very much aware that he exists.
Can't escape it. All right, so Superman Day, yes, was celebrated on June 12th, so we all hope you had a happy Superman Day. Now, today, June 14th, there in the US, is the day that Superman's film in 2013 was released, Man of Steel, 8 years ago. Henry Cavill graced our screens for the first time as Superman. For me, I saw it a couple of days earlier at the world premiere in New York City 8 years ago, and I was looking back at some photos from that time. I cannot believe it's been 8 years since Man of Steel was released. Can you believe it's been 8 years?
Yeah, it's kind of amazing that I was looking at my Facebook memories, which is usually how I remember things these days, unfortunately.
So true.
But no, I was yesterday. I was looking at it, and it reminded me that we went to the Walmart showing. That was a thing right the day before it premiered in theaters. And then today, of course, is the anniversary of us going to see it with some friends. So it was just kind of weird to think like how different the landscape is now, like how completely different. Just not just comic book movies, but like Superman in and of itself. I mean, we had gone through, as a friend reminded me yesterday, like the New 52 Wars. But that was kind of a little skirmish. Man of Steel was more like the full-blown, Civil War happening. And it's just so weird that what was supposed to be the start of this brand new era of Superman on film really ultimately didn't go too far.
No, I mean, we got three if you count the Zack Snyder's Justice League version, but we got sequels that included that version of Superman, but we didn't get the exact sequel that we were all hoping, and people are still claiming and clamoring for Man of Steel 2. But and to see Henry Cavill continue on in the role, which is looking less and less likely these days, but it definitely fractured the Superman fandom. Not that it was ever a whole, because it's always been fractured. It was just funny, we were talking about the anniversary of Man of Steel, as in John Burns's Superman comic book in 1986, and how there are still fans from the Silver Age and pre-Crisis and everything like that who are very much upset that that Man of Steel, John Burns' Superman existed and killed off their version of Superman. So it's always been a fractured fandom. I mean, I don't think there is any.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Star Wars, Star Trek. It doesn't matter. There's always difference of opinion, so nobody agrees on everything. But Man of Steel is definitely a skirmish, as you say, or a civil war, in that it was a focal point. You got World War I, World War II, those kinds of different, big moments in history. Man of Steel was definitely that for the Superman fans.
Yeah, I do remember you guys calling in from the premiere when we were doing the thing on Blog Talk Radio. And I would have been there if not for Rachel's car accident.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm glad Scotty V got to go. I'm glad he had a good time. But yeah, that'll be always one of those, woulda, coulda, shoulda type things that could have been. But no, I just think it's kind of weird that we have so much Superman content, because back in 2013, we were kind of starved for live action and animated versions of it. And now we've got kind of an embarrassment of riches, so to speak, because we have a TV show, they're planning a new film. We've got, like you said, the upcoming My Adventures with Superman animated series. And I know we're going to be talking about the League of Super Pets teaser trailer. But it's just like, it's so different, and probably for the better.
Yeah, indeed. Definitely for the better. But there is, it is interesting time looking back, and the excitement that we had, and I met Henry Cavill at the world premiere there in New York City, the after party, and to hear him say at the time that he was a fan of the website and he visited it every day nearly, and that it was pretty much the only Superman fan site that he visited, and that he thought we did a good job of with the comments and things of moderating that and giving everyone their chance to view their opinions no matter how different they were. I wonder if you felt the same way after the movie premiered because it got pretty full on there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, it did.
So we thank him for his time on that world premiere. And just the question that came up there from John Patrick Van Pelt about the big question. I am updating that as we speak, John. So you will be able to check that out very soon. Apologise. Thank you for reminding me that hadn't been fixed. I will be doing that as the show continues. So the big question feedback form will be updated in the next 2 minutes. So you'll be able to go out and check that out ASAP to make sure it's actually updated right now. There you go, John. So you can go on and check out the latest big question if you need to submit your response to that. I apologise for not having that done earlier. All right, pushing on. Speaking about things that are coming on our screens, DC League of Super Pets, the official teaser trailer dropped this past week. It's very short, but it's very interesting. Here we have the teaser trailer to DC League of Super Pets. There you have it. It's coming. It's May 20th, 2022 is the release date of this animated film, written and directed by Jared Stern with Sam Levine to co-direct, starring Dwayne Johnson as Crypto, Kevin Hart as Ace, as well as the voices of Keanu Reeves, Vanessa Bayer, John Krasinski, Diego Luna, and Natasha Lyonne. Interesting voice cast.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised they used the Williams theme and Crypto to promote it, because you would think they would lean into the Batman thing, but I actually kind of liked the way Crypto looked. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of looking forward to it now, because that was just an interesting, he kind of had a confident look. I don't know how confident I know how confident dogs can look. My dogs look confident all the time. But no, I was just like, oh, okay, that's actually kind of cute. So,
John's asking, do you think we'll hear the John Williams score in the film?
Yeah, we might. I don't see why not, unless they don't want to pay the licensing fee, or pay John Williams for the use of it. So,
any speculations as to who Keanu Reeves might voice?
I'm kind of hoping he's a villain, but I don't know exactly who he would be, because, when I think of the Super Pets, there's Beppo the Super Monkey, Comet the Super Horse, Streaky the Super Cat, Crypto. There was a Legionnaire pet named Prody that was around for a little while. So I'm just assuming they're either going to extend, beef up those roles, or they're going to create new ones, like a new Flash animal or a Green Lantern animal or whatever.
Or a super kangaroo. That would be interesting. Kevin Hart as Ace the Bat Hound. He seems to have a high pitched voice. Doesn't seem to have that bass, but kind of deep voice that Dwayne Johnson has.
I'm assuming that he's there because he and The Rock work together a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So I'm just assuming that's what that's about. I mean, let's face it, these big budget animated films, they don't go to your more traditional voice actors who do this thing every day. They go for the people that have the big names, and it's been that way ever since Robin Williams was in Aladdin. So, yes, Michael Ballack, there was a Comet the Super Horse. Do not look too closely into it. It just gets weirder. It's like it's kind of like opening up one of those things from Hellraiser. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Exactly. But well, it'd be interesting to see who all the voices are and the look of the other characters, because I do like the look of Crypto. I like that his collar, when he just kind of hits it with his paw, extends the cape, kind of comes out of the back of it. That's kind of cute. And hearing the John Williams theme is always awesome. So Ollie's asking, do you think we will see their masters in the movie? Well, we know that Superman goes on a vacation, and that's why Crypto is left behind to take care of things, as they say. But whether or not we'll see, anything of those characters, the superheroes themselves, could be interesting. You could just see them from the kind of the legs down, because that's the height of the pets.
Yeah. Yeah, I figure we'll just hear voices and see, like, the boots.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yes, we also, Michael, there was a super monkey. I think you mentioned that, Michael's Beppo. Which,
Beppo.
Yeah, not to be confused with Chrissy Beppo from Superman and Lois at the moment. She's not a monkey.
No.
She's probably cheeky, but she's not a monkey.
Oh, good.
All right, so yes, that's DC League of Super Pets coming May 2022. Try to say that 3 times fast. All right, in some sad news, we lost a great actor this week, Ned Beatty, who is best known to Superman fans as the actor who played Otis in 2 Superman films, aged 83, passed away of natural causes this week. A great actor, not just from the Superman films, but just in general. He's been in so many great movies and was an awesome gentleman.
Yeah, I was sad to hear this. I've enjoyed his work no matter what movie. Maybe not the Captain America film from 1990, which wasn't his fault. But he was in Deliverance.
Yes.
If you want him to once again act with Christopher Reeve, you can see him and George Newbern in the movie Switching Channels. I think
they were also together in Grey Lady Down before.
Something like that. Yeah, it was like one of those small, quote unquote, artsy type films. But no, he just always had a really good everyman approach to it, and Otis was a very broad character, and he played it broad, but at the same time, he was just kind of charming in it. And it was just sad. I mean, sadly, people get older.
Yeah.
It's just, and we're coming up on, like, 43 years ago was when Superman the movie came out. So it's just like, this is going to happen more often, but as we'll get to into This Week in History, by the way.
Yes. I had the good fortune of interviewing Ned Beatty back in 2008 when I was at the Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois. That was the year you were there too, wasn't it?
No,
2003.
That was one of the years. It was 2003. You were there. I was there in 2008.
Yeah, I was there in 2008 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I wasn't there when you interviewed Ned Beatty.
No. This was inside a room at the signature area where they'll do the celebrity signings. Neil Bailey was behind the camera for me. The microphone isn't that great, but he's a very...
Was it 2000?
Yeah, it was 2008.
Did I miss out on that completely?
Were you there that year? That was the year that he and Alison Mack were there together.
I'll have to look into that.
Talking about getting old. The memory's fading.
Because it sounds like I got cheated out of meeting Ned Beatty. So.
Uh-oh. Here's the interview. Well, good morning. We're here on Saturday, June 14th for the Superman celebration. And I'm here with a very special guest, Ned Beatty. Welcome, Ned.
Hello, thank you.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Drop my sunglasses.
Oh, that's all right. I'll get them for
Thank you. Now, obviously, you're famous to Superman fans for your role as Otis in Superman the movie and Superman 2. What can you tell us that's interesting about your time doing that role? What was the most interesting thing for you?
It was a very interesting time in my life.
Yeah.
I got divorce papers when I was 8. Never mind. Oh, that's just small.
And what was it like working with Gene Hackman?
It's interesting. It's interesting. Oh, it'll take a little while to explain the whole thing. Gene likes to get himself worked up a little bit more, and he works a lot off anger.
All right.
So if you find out that he's angry at you, it just means he's preparing to work.
Okay.
It took me a little while to catch on to that.
Don't take it personally. This is the way I work.
Not personally. This is the way I go. You know.
And
he kind of look at you and do things like.
Fantastic. And Christopher Reeve, you obviously worked with him on the movie, and you
Yes.
worked with him in Great Lady Down.
Correct. Yes.
And your thoughts on his life after Superman, with what happened with him with his accident and.
Well, the accident, obviously was a tragic thing. The first thing I thought of when I heard about it, because I knew nothing about, I knew about his flying. I knew he loved to fly. I knew he loved to. In England, actually, he likes to do gliders.
Like it,
Yeah.
as a pilot.
And over there, you do them inside cumulus clouds. That's the way you get. That's the way you get up. And if the company found out he was doing that, we would have they would have shut us down. Sure. So only 2 or 3 people knew it, and we kept our mouths shut. I'd known him before, but it was Great Lady Down.
Yeah.
You know, Chris was fairly new to everybody else on the set, so he and I.
And he was also very serious about his acting, wanted to stay in character. And,
Everything.
yeah.
Serious about everything. As a pilot, I mean, I've flown with him, and as a pilot, he was serious.
Fantastic.
He was serious. Yeah, I would move like this in my seat. He'd reach over for control.
Adjust it. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us this morning.
You're welcome.
And I hope you enjoy the celebration. And it's been a real honour meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there you have it. That was an interview with Ned Beatty back in 2008. Yeah, lovely gentleman.
Yeah, definitely got screwed out of.
All of a sudden,
I wonder
Michael's
if that's when I was
very-
suffering from heat stroke, because I got sick one of the days.
Yes,
I got,
it was very warm.
I had to go lay down. Though I did send you 2 photos after the break. We could show them off of you and me at that
Yeah.
one. Too.
It's actually June 14th, 2008, which is exactly, what's that, 30, how many years ago? 13 years ago?
That's the 13 years, yeah.
To the day. Wow, yes, people, I did have hair. I still do have hair, I just shave it because I don't have hair in all the right places. So, yes, I've just beaten Mother Nature too. It's wonderful work. John Patrick Van Pelt saying, what wonderful memories. How old was the Superman celebration back in 2008? I'm not sure exactly how long it had been.
30.
Yeah, I think it might have
30th.
Yeah, 30th. So it'd been going for quite a while already by that stage. It was my second time being there. I'd been there in 2003 for my first time, and then every 5 years since. So yeah, it's awesome. So yes, thank you for your question, John. It was 30th anniversary back then. Thank you for your question about that. So yes, that was my interview with Ned Beatty, who sadly passed away this past week. We send our condolences to his family and friends. We really, appreciate all the work that he did in film, and he left us with some great memories. Venkman asking, how would it have gone down if Otis ever visited the Ace of Clubs and met Bibbo?
Well, let me tell you something about that. There's a picture over the bar of Otis saying he's not allowed in because he's friends with Lex Luthor. Anybody who's friends with Lex Luthor doesn't get into my bar.
There you have it.
There you
That's your answer. All right. If you are a fan of Superman the movie, in which obviously Ned Beatty stars, it will be screening at the Utah Theatre in Logan, Utah, today at 7 p.m., which is probably too late now. I don't know what the time difference is there, but it was screening there today.
a little bit, but hey, you've got that thing up every week, so people could check the homepage.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll know.
Just thought I'd mention it. All right, into the television side of things. This past week, we saw the episode of Superman and Lois, the 9th episode of Season 1, titled Loyal Subjects. And Neil Bailey, again, was not a big fan of this episode. I thought it was a fairly strong episode. I didn't mind it at all. Your thoughts on this one, Michael?
Yeah, Neil and I are just kind of on opposite sides of this. Call it the Bailey spectrum, if you really want to. Where does it fall? I was really enjoying it. My favorite moment actually was when Jordan runs into the hall and he calls his dad, and Clark's just right there. He just opens the door and he's there, and I'm like, that's the kind of dad he is. Mm-hmm. Most interesting way to introduce super breath by having it be snot, probably. But no, I mean, this thing, when this show was pitched to the audience, it's like, it's about family and it's about them going to Smallville and raising the kids. And man, we're at episode 9 and we're about to have a war with Kryptonians. I mean, it's just like this thing escalated quickly. And I kind of like that. Quickly.
Yeah. Some of the questions coming thick and fast through our comments on YouTube. What kind of bullets was Clark dealing with that caused him to bruise such and such? Well, they were just normal bullets, but the fact was that because he'd been infected the week prior by that synthetic kryptonite gas, it had weakened him to a point where it was like he was out there like we are playing paintball skirmish and getting those bruises under the shirt. They're not lethal. They've bruised him and he'll heal no problem within no time at all. Just a bit of go out there and get a bit of a tan, and the sun will fix that up quick smart. But it's the reason that synthetic gas also infected Jordan and caused him to have that allergic reaction, and the sneezing was why he was starting to get his super breath, if you like, the freeze breath. So that's the reason behind Jordan getting that power, if you like, or that power coming out in that way. Interesting way. I mean, it's kind of harkens back to the Smallville of how he got his heat vision, every time he got a little bit excited. Yes. This way, it was kind of the opposite effect. Every time he had to sneeze because of this infection, it created a bit of ice breath, which was problematic for him in company.
He asks what we thought of Sarah Cushing's musical performance. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I think she's got a good singing voice.
Yeah,
I really do.
Most actors these days are a bit of a triple threat. They've got the acting and the singing and the dancing down pat. They've kind of come across all of those in their career, whether they're stage performers, singers, what have you. They all kind of tend to be trained in all aspects of entertainment. So that was pretty impressive from her. And I guess it came full circle with Kyle, who was supposed to originally be there playing the music for her rehearsal, able to play the music for her because Jordan had to bail and couldn't be there. He also asks, John asks in the comments, whether we think Sarah and Jordan will remain friends for much longer, or if they'll officially, it's headed there, isn't it?
It's headed there, but I think they're gonna play that out a little longer. They have to have some kind of like ongoing soap opera romance thing going on, so that works. Yeah. Now
they didn't mention it, but it was not hard to spot the fact that Jonathan's hand was no longer in a cast.
Yeah, I was trying to no prize that, and I failed because unfortunately Kyle at the beginning of the episode says thank you for helping out the other day. I was thinking maybe because of the way Clark and Lois and Chrissy were working at the beginning. And by the way, it was great seeing Clark as a reporter again. That was awesome.
That was good.
That maybe a few weeks had gone by, and it's possible it had been, and then the line was a goof, and they just didn't, these things happen. But yeah, he was out of that cast really quick.
He was
using that solar gun like a boss. So
yes, indeed. Now, obviously, the big finale of this episode was the revelation that Edge is also superpowered. Speculate, like he says It calls Superman brother. He's not obviously Superman's biological brother. It's
Yeah.
just a term that you use for someone who is of the same kin as from the same region as you, obviously indicating that he's Kryptonian. But are
Maybe
we thinking
he's Kru-El.
Yeah. Or are we thinking he's General Zod or someone of that
No,
kind?
because the symbol isn't right.
No, it could be their version of the symbol.
I have a source that says that was an original symbol that one of the writing assistants came up with.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking who?
Well, I don't think it's Zod. I'm leaning towards Kru-El because that would just be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Kru-El was Jor-El's evil brother, I believe.
Okay.
Either brother or cousin or something like that. Some people are saying Jax-Ur. A couple people have mentioned the evil Kryptonian from Dark Knight 3, who I never read that. So
Yeah.
Rom in the chat says it's Tyzor from the J.J. Abrams thing. Man, if they pull out Tyzor, I will be like shocked. I actually kind of want it to be like that now. But no, I'm with you. I don't think it's like his literal brother. And I also don't think... I don't know if Edge is Kryptonian or if he's being housed by a Kryptonian. It's because if he is Kryptonian, how long has he been on Earth?
Mm.
And if he's been on Earth for as long as Superman's been on Earth, that's a long time to do a slow burn like that.
That's a long... He's playing the long game, big time. Long con.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the revelation is in this coming episode. One thing I didn't like about this episode that kind of took me out was, as John Patrick Van Pelt mentions, the Jonathan Kent crush on this girl. I mean, she's obviously giving him the eye, leading him on, and then she acts surprised that he's coming on to us. Like, really? Like,
yeah.
Is she just being the mean girl, or what's going on there?
Maybe just playing coy. I don't know.
But that was kind of very Smallville-ish in that it was,
yes, it was.
Drama for the sake of drama. But we'll see if that goes anywhere or not, but we'll wait and see. But we wait for the next episode, which will air tomorrow night there in the US, and it is titled, "Oh Mother, Where Art Thou?" Here is the promo trailer for this upcoming episode, the 10th episode of Season 1.
It has been so long since anything strange happened in this town.
I made people afraid, and I'm going to again.
Everyone out!
My brother chose humanity over us.
Humans don't deserve to lose their lives.
So there you have it. I like Justin's comment. Edge is the person in the empty pod. Thank you, Justin, from Man of Steel.
That would be funny. Yes, it would.
So interesting to see that, this is that war that happened on John Henry Irons' Earth kind of coming to fruition here, but Superman is on the opposite side. It'll be interesting to see if they play at what happened there between our Earth and that Earth and how it diverges and how it differs, and whether or not John Henry Irons will see that, Superman can be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I'm excited. I really am.
Oh Mother, Where Art Thou? Episode 10 of Season 1. We look forward to that episode this week. But looking further beyond, the 11th episode of this season is titled A Brief Reminiscence in Between Cataclysmic Events. That's a mouthful. It is, the description is very short. All it says is, Clark makes a startling discovery about Morgan Edge. Well, we kind of already had that, but I don't know what further discovery there might be, but that is the description that they've given us to date for the episode that will air on June 22nd, so next week. So looking forward to that. And I'm guessing we'll get a lot of flashbacks.
I'm thinking that's where we're going to see the Fleischer suit again.
Yeah, I imagine that will be the case. All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back with more Superman and Lois revelations. We're going to be talking conventions, comic books. We'll do the fan favorite segment and so much more. Stay with us. We'll be back right after these messages.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying WGBS TV Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program. Just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by visiting patreon.com/Superman homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Balmer, the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
Delicious.
And dangerous. First, never touch any appliance without a parent's supervision. And always be careful with kitchen appliances. Keep their cords out of your way and your fingers out of their way. Also, always turn pot handles in, away from the edge of the stove.
So nobody bumps into them and gets hurt.
Now you're cooking.
Always want to know what that kid was actually baking in that safety tip commercial. Delicious, but we don't know what it is.
Probably some kind of strawberry cake.
That's what it looks like. All right, so moving on back to Superman and Lois. We said what episodes are coming this week and then next week, but we're looking ahead even further to the season finale, which we now know will be directed by Tom Cavanaugh, who plays what's his name? Harrison Wells in The Flash. He will be directing the season finale of season 1 for Superman and Lois.
Yes, unfortunately, I did not get a chance to listen to that interview. I'm a little behind on that show. Though after listening to the interview with Tempest, I realized that he lives like 2 hours north of me, so that's kind of weird.
Does he really? Yeah, the interview that you're talking about is at Comic Book Central. They caught up with Tom Cavanaugh, who spoke with them about not just his time playing multiple versions of Harrison Wells on The Flash, but also the fact that he will be, as I said, directing the finale, the season 1 finale of Superman and Lois. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So make sure you check that
I'm
out
sure
on our website.
It's usually easier probably to keep the people that are already up there working on the different shows, because you know that they're taking they're doing the COVID precautions.
Indeed. All right, and if you are interested in checking out both Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch at a fan fest, Celebrity Fan Fest will be taking place in San Antonio, Texas from the 3rd of July to August 8th, but these two actors will be appearing on Monday, August 2nd and Tuesday, August 3rd, and will be available for photo ops across both days. So that's pretty exciting. If you're a fan who's interested and finally able to get back into the convention section of the world, then August 2nd and 3rd should be something that you'll be marking down in your calendars to check out both Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch and meet them and maybe get a photo with one, either, or both.
I'm holding out hope that they're coming to Dragon Con. I haven't heard anything yet. I'm holding out hope.
Okay, there you go. Wait and see what happens with the convention side of the world as far as the upcoming season is concerned. I'm sure there'll be some going ahead, some cancelling, some moving, postponing, what have you. So keep your ear to the ground, and we'll let you know as soon as we hear anything. All right, we are going to move on to the animated side of the world, where we, as we know, 2 seasons of a new animated series titled My Adventures with Superman are coming our way, thanks to HBO Max and Cartoon Network. And we now know that this animated series will be inspired by the Christopher Reeve Superman films, but with a romantic comedy element.
Yeah, I reading this, I was just like, it seems like they're kind of going for that Lois and Clark vibe, but more inspired by the Christopher Reeve films. So that's going to be an interesting. Dynamic. I'm looking forward to see how they're going to play that out.
Yeah, because it says here that Lois and Clark and Jimmy are just recent college graduates. They're at the Daily Planet. They're going through the life stuff that you go through when you're in your early 20s, but there's it's a romantic, in addition to being a superhero story. In our version, Clark is new to his powers, so it's also a coming-of-age story for all of them. That was a quote.
And making Jimmy their age doesn't bother me anymore. They've done that so many times now that it really doesn't matter.
And there's supposed to be some test viewings, and it did really well with the younger female audience, which is an interesting, that would be interesting to see if they can, catch on to, because Superman's always been mostly a male teen to early adult male, area of the fandom that he's captured. But if they can get a younger female audience invested in this, just like they did with Lois and Clark back in the day, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think you have a real shot with it, and especially that animation style, I think will also appeal to a broader audience, because it does have more kind of a more generic. It doesn't look like a overtly testosterone filled thing. So
John's asking, how do you think they'll animate the Christopher Reeve costume? I don't know if they'll be using the Christopher Reeve costume. They're just saying it's inspired by the feeling of those films, not necessarily the visuals of that film. So just inspired by the style of the storytelling from that era, not necessarily physically adapting the look of that film or the costume of any kind. But talking about animating things, there's been that whole voila, doing real life people in animated styles. I've been posting quite a few of them on our Twitter and Instagram and Facebook accounts, animating or giving you the Pixar look at what certain real life action movies and TV shows of the Superman family would look like in that style. And it's been getting a lot of good attention. I did a Smallville one today. I might bring up some of them for you here later in the show. Actually, I'll drop a few onto the screen for you right now. So here's the one I did of Tom Welling. And there's Lana. And that was Lana already. Here's Lois. So it's quite interesting the way that these apps can do that. Here's Martha. So just kind of an interesting look. There's Jonathan. I like Jonathan. That's a cute one. He looks really very much like John Schneider there in an animated form. And so you can check out more of those on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts if you're keen on having a look at what those characters would look like in animated form based on these apps that you're able to do that in. So check those out on our social media accounts. So I've got some more to post, including here's one of George Reeve.
Wow, that's different.
Yeah. So there's all different ones that I'll be posting. So yes, we'll have a look at those on our social media accounts. All right, now we mentioned earlier the Superman homepage. The Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois, which was my interview with Ned Beatty from 2008. Well, it's happening again this year after having been postponed or cancelled last year due to COVID. But it is back across the weekend of July 30th, July 31st, and August 1st. Only 3 days this year. It's usually a 4-day festival. And Superman homepage meet and greet will be taking place during the Superman celebration, as we normally do each year. And this year's Superman homepage meet and greet is scheduled for Friday, July 30th at 10:30 a.m. inside the American Legion building, which is located at 321 Market Street, not far from the Superman statue. And so it's indoors, in the air conditioning, plenty of space for everybody. It's a private room, and there'll be prizes to be won, giveaways for the first 100 people who show up. So make sure if you're there, you attend the 10:30 a.m. Friday Superman homepage meet and greet. I won't be there in person this year, but it will be hosted by our good friends Ken and Cindy Sills, who will be doing his little Metro lottery thing that he does each year as well at the Superman homepage meet and greet. And as I said, there hopefully will be prizes for everyone to win, trivia, games, and all different types of things to enjoy. So it goes for an hour and on that Friday morning. Hope you enjoy it.
Beats meeting out at a picnic table.
That was our first one. We did that at a picnic table right behind the statue there, but outgrowing that. So yeah, that was. It's amazing how it's grown in that time. All right, let's look to the comic book side of. Actually, no, you know what? Let's do the fan favorite segment of our show. Here we go. All right, what was our fan favorite question from last week, Michael?
What is your favorite non-Superman collectible that is still associated with Superman? Mm-hmm. And Rommel Tunkin wrote in, here are some statues I own. Bizarro from the animated series, Lois in the Fleischer style, and Silver Age Jor-El, Lara, and Baby Kal-El.
Yeah, I've got to each of those statues here. They're fantastic. I love the Fleischer style ones. The one that goes along with the Jor-El and Lara sending the rocket off from Krypton is the companion statue that is the Kent's finding the baby with the same rocket crash, which is an awesome one. I don't have a photo of that here at the moment, but it's sitting right behind my computer, which I can just grab it. It's right there within reach. Don't drop it,
Stephen. I still think they should do some kind of like advent calendar like that.
So yeah, that's the companion piece to that statue of Jor-El and Lara sending off baby Kal-El. Okay, so that's that piece. Next up we have, just finding my notes, we also have JP Rocha, who said, no, is it JP Rocha? Yes. Outside of Superman, right. I have a few collectibles, but I just got this DC Rebirth Superman. Where is it? There it is. This DC Bizarro, Rebirth Bizarro figure. So he added that to his collection recently. So yes, nice, ugly figure.
Yeah, I guess it is supposed to be ugly, isn't it?
It is. That's Bizarro for you. Anything in your collection, Michael, that you'd like to share with us?
I don't have anything right here, unfortunately. But I was thinking about it, and then, of course, didn't grab anything. I have a bunch of Steel figures that I love.
Oh yeah.
The DC Direct figures, the ones from the 1995 Kenner line. One that was part of this random superhero line from a couple years ago that Steel was part of for some reason. I also have like a bunch of Lex Luthor and Brainiac like through the ages, thanks to DC Direct and the Mattel lines. So usually when I put those out, I try to put them all together so you get kind of an evolution of the character in action figure form. Nice. But my favorite Lex Luthor figure I don't know why, it was a DC Direct figure. It was the Silver Age one where he's in the prison grays. And I just think it's such a neat figure.
Very cool. This is what I took a photo of from my collection that I love, is the Bottled City of Kandor collectible. And if you press that little nodule there at the front, the lights inside the canister open up inside the glass, and it looks like the city is alive. So that's one of the collectibles in my collection that I really like. That's non-Superman related. You've gone and grabbed something. What have you got?
Yeah, I was gonna try. I gotta take my headset off. This is a Fortress of Solitude snow globe.
Nice.
Now, Superman's in it, but I don't consider it like a Superman thing. This was given to me by Rachel on our first or second Valentine's Day.
Nice.
And you really can't see it, but it's got Fortress of Solitude written in Kryptonian on the sides.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got like the key, but it's shaped like the rocket that brought the post-crisis Superman to Earth. So
Cool.
I did have something to bring after all.
There you go. Very nice. I think they used the figure inside that as a like a Christmas ornament at one stage too. Holding onto the cake.
Hey, it still snows. Yay!
There you have it. So that is our fan favourite segment for this week. So thank you to those guys who sent in their photos. What is our new fan favourite question for this week, Michael?
What is your favourite Superman car accessory?
Interesting. Remember those, maybe I should leave it till next week, but the car aerial things that you could get? Little Superman, they usually got pinched.
I vaguely remember that, yeah.
I'll have to look for a photo of that. I never had one, but I just remember seeing them online and thinking, how cool would that be? But most cars don't really have radio aerials anymore. They're kind of built in these days.
Not anymore.
Little fin things on the top of the car, if that's all you have. But yeah, they were cool back in the day. But yeah, if you have your favorite Superman car accessory, whatever it might be, car seat covers, rims, decals, whatever it is, send us your photo using the email address that is on your screen right now, info@supermanhomepage.com, and we will show them off when we return to this segment next week. So that was the fan favorite segment for this week. All right, let's move on to the Superman comic book side of the world. And we have, this week, what we do have for Superman fans to read is, let me grab the images for you for your comic books out this week, dated June 15th. No, that's the image that I just showed you. Turn that one off. There we have it. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, #1 is out this week, and it is available in a variant cover right there. It is also available in a blank variant cover, so I imagine you could take that to a convention and get someone to draw a sketch on it if you're so interested. Also out this week is Superman Red and Blue #4. Yes, they are persisting with John Romita Jr. as a cover artist. But it's also available in this variant cover, which makes up my green screen background today, and also this really cool variant cover, which makes up part of the background of the Superman homepage website at the moment. And then on the collected side of things, we have Deceased Hope at World's End hardcover available this week as well. And I don't have the cover for it, but there is also available the 13th chapter of Ruby Justice League, available on Friday, June 18th, if you want to download that. That's what's available this week in the comic book world. I'm looking forward to the first issue of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Yep. I've heard mixed things about it, so I'm waiting on that one. But it's funny, we've been kind of poking fun at this whole Ruby thing, Ruby JLA thing.
Yeah.
I was at the comic shop last week, just hanging out, talking to the shop owner, and like 2 people came in and picked up the latest issue of the regular Ruby comic. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it is a thing, and I'm just old.
A couple of comments. Tom King says that Supergirl is a space western inspired by True Grit. So that'll be interesting to see if you're interested in that kind of thing. And JP Rocho is asking, why has Superman 32 been delayed? I don't know why it's been delayed, but I can tell you that it will be out June 22nd. It was originally solicited for June 8th, so it has been pushed back 2 weeks, but it will come out June 22nd from what my listings are showing me. So we look forward to when that is released. But this past week, DC announced that they have received 17 nominations in the 2021 Will Eisner Comic Industry Awards, which are the Oscars of the comic book world, and they celebrate the industry's very best releases and talent. And Superman Smashes the Klan and Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen both received a number of nominations for the Eisner Awards, which is really cool to see. Congratulations to those people who were part of... Let me turn that image off there. So yeah, the Best Limited Series was Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen nominated. Superman Smashes the Klan was nominated for Best Publication for Kids. And Superman Smashes the Klan was also nominated for Best Adaptation from Another Medium, having obviously been adapted from the radio series. And Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen also received nominations for Best Humor Publication, Best Writer, and Best Lettering, which is really cool. And also Superman Man of Tomorrow was also nominated for Best Lettering as well. So great to see that Superman and Jimmy Olsen have been nominated in the Will Eisner Awards, and congratulations to those people, the creative people involved in those two comic book series, for their nominations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Eisner Awards will be announced in an online ceremony during Comic-Con at Home on July 23rd, so next month, which coincidentally is my wedding anniversary. Not that you needed to know that, but just...
happy anniversary nonetheless.
Thank you. I'm one of those guys who remembers their anniversary. All right.
So am I.
Very good. When is it, Michael? Quickly.
December 14th.
Correct. Not that I would know, but I'll have to ask Rachel later on. All right, pushing on to just quickly, if you're into Fortnite, the Superman is officially available in the video game. Epic Games has launched the 7th season, which is invasion themed, and includes the ability to play as the Man of Steel. And I do have some images here, but quickly go through this week in history, Michael. We don't care if we go over time a little bit. Yes, people, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that. We are able to do that, but we don't usually do it.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bubble of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
Starting in 1941, Action Comics number 39 came out on June 19th, 1941. It had the Superman story, The Man with the Radioactive Touch, along with a Pet Morgan, Black Pirate, Three Aces, Miss America, that whole thing. Let me do this really quick because I had to move things around. 1961, Superman number 147 came out. That has a very cool cover that is like the Adventure Comics 242, somewhere around there, which was the first appearance of the Legion of Superheroes. And jumping to 1971, we have Superman number 241, where Superman is being taken away by a rather large creature. This is part of the Superman Sandman saga, as it has become known. In 1981, strap in, folks. We got a lot going on this week because Superman 2 came out this week, and DC dumped a lot of Superman stuff. You have Action Comics number 523, DC Special Series number 25, which is a Superman 2 Treasury Edition. Not a comic book adaptation because they weren't allowed to have that, but a fun book nonetheless. Also, DC Special Series number 26, which was another Treasury Edition, which is the Fortress of Solitude one, which is actually a really cool story. It's the entire history of the Fortress of Solitude. New Adventures of Superboy number 21 has Superboy fighting a ghost on the cover, and Superman Family number 210 has a Supergirl story, a Superman Lois Lane of Earth 2 story, Superman, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen. Jumping ahead to 1991, Superman number 58. We are in the full Triangle era now, and this is when Dan Jurgens took over the title as both writer and artist. In 2001, we have Adventures of Superman number 593, which was part of Our Worlds at War. And then in 2011, we have Supergirl number 65 and Superman Batman number 85. We are nearing the end of this era of DC Comics. It's kind of weird that we're hitting up on that. In the real world, strap in, folks, there's a lot of death. June 13th, Danny Dark died in 2004 on June 13th. And in 2005, we lost Lane Smith, who was Lex Luthor on Lois and Clark. Danny Dark was Superman on the Super Friends. June 14th, we mentioned earlier in the episode, was when Man of Steel was released to theaters here in the U.S. On June 15th, Ross Andru, who drew some great Superman stories, was born in 1925. June 16th, 1959, George Reeves committed suicide or was murdered, depending on who you want to believe. And in 1996, Kurt Swan passed away on June 16th. On June 17th, Superman 3 was released to theaters. On June 18th, Bud Collyer, Superman on the Radio, was born in 1908, and it is also traditionally the date that they say Kal-El landed on Earth. And June 19th, in addition to being my wife's birthday, Superman 2 was released in the theaters in the United States. Now, I got to say that because it had actually been in theaters around the world for a year before that, but that's when it came to the States, and that's this week in history.
There you have it. We are over time, but we do appreciate you guys hanging around for that extra couple of minutes so we could get that in, because I know Michael put a lot of work into collecting together this week in history. So thank you very much for watching this episode of WGBS TV Live. We want to thank all our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And we want to thank you, the people watching via YouTube Live and commenting. We appreciate your support and your comments. And thank you to my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey. Thanks, Mike.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
And remember, if you've missed part of this show, you tuned in late, want to check it out in full, you'll be able to do that on the Superman homepage website and our YouTube channel. But until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice. On behalf of myself and Michael Bailey, thanks for watching WGBS TV Live. We'll be back next week, June 22nd. Or was it 21st? 21st. Be sure to tune in then. Until then, be sure to check out the website. I'm Steve Eunice. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.